Hello everyone, it is I, Clover, and well, this is a very different video for me. This isn't Danganronpa Plush. What the fuck's going on with that? Well, I'm very happy to say that the trial for Danganronpa Plush Rejuvenated Despair is fully recorded. I just need to edit it, which is taking a little bit longer than I expected because, well, you might have figured this out, but I am a level 5000 procrastinator, so there's that. However, it will be coming out very shortly, and I have a new series in the works that I'm planning, and hopefully you guys will like that. It's kind of like Danganronpa mixed with Among Us. That's all I'm going to say about that, but today the true tea is that we are going to be talking about my top 5 favorite Danganronpa Plush series. Now, if I really wanted to, I could do a top 10, top 20, all that, but also I am a professional yapper. I talk a little bit too much sometimes, and I'm only gonna do a top 5 because I have a lot of opinions on these because, well, I mean, let's get into it. They are my favorites for a reason. So hopefully y'all enjoy this video. I probably will because I get to talk about my favorite series. So that's fun. So let's just get into the rankings. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, basically how I'm gonna be ranking all of these is like death order, how I enjoyed the death order. Did I think it was good? Did I think it was bad? Most of the cases, they're gonna be good. Did I enjoy the actual trials? Once again, I probably did enjoy a lot of them. If I didn't, then the characters were gonna be really fucking good. Also, characters are important. How I felt about them. Do I think they were good characters? And survivors, how Monokuma is, and all that. There's a lot of things that go into this. So let's just begin.
Hope's Peak Academy, a school in the heart of Japan.
So, on my lovely number 5 spot in my top 5 favorite Danganronpa series is the Mimikyu Lovers' Danganronpa Plush United Despair. Now, the Mimikyu Lover has made a handful of Danganronpa Plush series, some way better than others, and let's be real, every person who's made a Danganronpa Plush, at least like more than like 2, definitely have their favorites and least favorites of their series. And this one is my personal favorite of his. I like all the characters in it. The cast is cool. I think my favorite character is probably like Roselia. Wow, that's totally not stereotypical at all for the little gay boy to like the flower girl. Not at all. But in all seriousness, the characters were cool. The one thing I didn't care for was Miku being the mastermind. I mean, she's cool. I like her as a mastermind. I see the potential there, but like, it's been done a lot. And I mean, I'm not saying I hate it. It's just like my one, like, meh about the whole series. Other than that, I think with the survivors, like, Riolu is a cool protagonist. Glaceon, I like what they did with Glaceon and Riolu, seeing how they kind of swapped in and out as protagonists. And they kind of played that like, oh, we're gonna solve all the cases role, but instead of like one being just pure support, they both kind of had their fair moments to be the protagonist, which I thought was cool. Silver's an alright character. Goggles, next question. Actually, that's evil. That is so rotted. No. I like Goggles. He's funny at times. I don't really care for him majorly. He's a cool little dude though, don't get me wrong. And then Snivy, I actually liked her too. I didn't realize she was a Poke Park reference until like literally the end of the series, and it hit me, and my little heart like jumped up and down with joy because I love Poke Park. Anything Poke Park related? Yeah. Other cast choices I did enjoy were like Mario, Cuphead. Oh, I fully forgot Cuphead survived. Not this. Cuphead was cool. I liked him, Mario, and Wario. And then Mario and Wario died, and then Cuphead was you know, depressed by himself. Oh well. I like the 2 sisters of Leafy and Glaceon. I think that's Leafeon's name. If it's not Leafy, that's gonna be really embarrassing, but I like Leafy. I thought she was an interesting first killer, and that's kind of what I have to say about her. She didn't last long. She was the first culprit. She's not supposed to do much other than be the first culprit. But I think she did a really good job at kind of building up Glaceon's... Oh wait, no, her name's not Glaceon, it's like Lazuli, right? Not this. Lazuli and Leafy, I like them. They're cool. I've been calling her sister the wrong name this entire time. Helpy was fine. Torchic was cool, but then he died. Helpy being evil, I thought was actually pretty cool, because Helpy, he's always been unsettling to me. I never enjoyed Helpy as a character, as in like the actual FNAF series. But him here, I thought he was pretty cool. Also, I liked his southern accent. And then Foxy and Shiro, or wait, she was Funtime Foxy, I'm pretty sure. Funtime Foxy and Shiro, they were cool. Shiro's, I mean, she did her job well. She was annoying. She was a good villain. She had her moments. Foxy, well, I'm a little bit indifferent to her. They all can't be favorites, like all-time fan favorites to me. But I think Shiro definitely is a better pair of the two. But that doesn't mean I hate, you know, Funtime Foxy in any regard. I think she's cute. And that's what I have to say about this series, really. I like it. I know a lot of people may not be really huge fans of a lot of Kiro series, but I love a lot of these. He's actually a huge inspiration. Well, to be fair, a lot of the people in this video are going to be huge inspirations as to why Rejuvenated Despair and this whole channel got made in the first place. I also thought Dementio was actually a way cooler take on like kind of like this like Mikado character where you know he's like mastermind, evil, and malicious, but he's not like an actual player in the game of the killing game. I thought he was a fun little addition. He was fine. He did his job. He was evil. He's from Paper Mario. I don't really know what to say about him. That's all. And that's the tea. Alright, now then, onward to number 4.
But, see. No way, that thing's a stuffed animal.
Not a robot, not an animal. I'm Monokuma!
One thing I love in Danganronpa Plush videos is how people portray Monokuma. And, oh my god. I love Danganronpa Plushroom Peaks Monokuma. He's hilarious. I mean, obviously Monokuma's kind of like the star in a way, where he's like, oh, I'm the mastermind, and I'm the creator of the killing game or whatever, but I think this one's really funny. He's way more like strangely sadistic, but strangely more charming and comedic, if that makes any sense. On to the characters. Bowser Jr. as a protagonist, it's fine. I don't hate it. It's actually really cool. I think Bowser Jr. is a fun protagonist, especially in the videos that are fairly short, which I do like. It kind of feels more like the Danganronpa anime, which I think is supposed to be the point of the series. So yeah, Bowser Jr. is cool. Captain Toad, or just, I think he was just Toad, but he was the ultimate explorer or whatever. He was alright. He was a simple first victim. Nothing really extravagant about that. Unless he's like somehow secretly the mastermind, because the series isn't over. Which you might be wondering, Clover, how the hell does a series that's not over outrank a series that's already finished? Listen. I have my ways. Tom Nook is a really cool killer. I think he's a fun culprit. He's pretty easy to make a culprit just because he's greedy, but he actually has a motive, being his, like, children, which I assume is Timmy and Tommy, even though they refer to him as, like, uncle, so those probably weren't his children, and I'm just making this shit out of my ass, but oh well. I like Peach. I mean, I can't really say anything bad about her. She didn't really do much. She was there. She died. Lucina, however, I was really sad when she died. She was one of my favorite characters, like, going into watching the series, just because I love her. And also I love her in a lot of other the Plushroom Kingdom stuff, so I was really excited to see her here. And then she died! She was a Chapter 2 killer! She died! But I liked her execution. Her execution was sick. The 2 Chapter 3 victims... Chusane was really... he was really funny. He was kind of camp. I lived. Eminard... I mean, he was alright. He was fine. Roy. I think he's an interesting Chapter 3 killer, because you expect the Chapter 3 killers to be, like, insane, or, like, have, like, some, like, psychotic breakdown, but Roy didn't really have that. Also, because he technically, like, wasn't the murderer, kinda wasn't, which I thought was a cool, like, take on things, because usually when it's, like, oh, he didn't commit the murder type deal, it's like, oh, no, he actually did commit the murder, and he's actually evil. But Roy was just a dude. Chapter 4. Baby Mario. I liked Baby Mario. I thought Baby Mario was, like, funny. And then he died. which I was kind of sad about, but I didn't really care that much because I liked everyone a little bit better. Then Zelda died. I had to take a moment of silence for that one. Zelda died and I was sad. But one thing about this series, the executions, they do not miss. Every single execution to a point is absolutely peak. I love every single one of them. And the music too, it's cool. Moving on to the characters who are still alive. I already talked about Bowser Jr. I already gave my little think piece on him, but he's still cool, I like him. Rosalina, I think she's probably gonna survive unless she tragically pulls a Kirigiri and dies somehow. And then you get like a bad ending with Bowser Jr. having children or whatever, I don't know. Ludwig, he's probably gonna survive and I'm not really happy about it because I don't like his ass, but every villain has to have their moment in the sun, I fear, and he's having it. Who's still alive? Oh yeah, Lakitu. I actually like Lakitu. I think he's kind of like a Hagakure kind of survivor where he's like, how the hell did you survive? But instead of like him just being stupid, he just like chill and actually lay back. But I think that's cool about him. Tiger, I think he's probably gonna survive. I also think Tiger's pretty funny. And then Roy died and then he got like really depressed and really angry or whatever. But other than that, I think he's pretty cool. I don't hate him. No, actually, I do like him a lot. I don't know why I was trying to go with like, I don't hate him, I don't like him, he's fine. But no, I like Tiger a lot. I already gave me a little piece on Monokuma. And then Isabel's also alive. She kind of reminded me of Mikan, just because she just kept not crying. But then she wasn't as sexualized as Mikan, and oh, we cheered. But I think Isabel's cool. I mean, she's having like some character development, but I think it's cool right now. I hope she survives. Something gives me like a small ounce of like despair that she doesn't survive. Haha, I said the thing when I'm talking about Danganronpa, I said despair, haha. But yeah, I hope Isabel survives. Do I think it's gonna happen? Not really. Nope. And I already gave my piece on Monokuma. The trials, I think were fun. Most Danganronpa Plush series feel more like the video game kind of style. However, Plushroom Kingdom goes for a more like anime style, which I think is really unique and fun. I think there's only been one other series that did that, but that one is never finished after like chapter 2, and there were like 5,000 characters in it, so yeah. But overall, I love Plushroom Kingdom. I also just love his videos in general, so y'all should like totally go check him out, like for real. Now then, moving on to number 3.
No clue. I just woke up with Luigi. Oh. Hello, Junior.
This is not going to be a surprise, but there is another BMG's Plush World video series like on here. But I'll get to that one when we get to it. I actually liked Killing Server a lot. I think the cast was really cool. The characters were actually fun too. I like a handful of them. The cases were fine. They weren't like my all-time favorites. Well, the first one wasn't my all-time favorite. I liked the ones that like followed it. But let's just get into like all the characters and such, because I fear at this point that's just what we're doing here. Luigi as a protagonist, I mean, come on, get into it. It's been done a few times, and every time I've ate it up. Actually, I'm to think about it, I don't really remember a lot of times when it's been done before. I only can think of this one, full T. The other survivors, I mean, come on, Mischievous? Yeah. Who else? Oh god, see, I'm literally just doing this like improvise. I like have not planned any of this out, and I think it's pretty obvious at this point. I don't know how the hell I blanked on the survivors other than Mischievous and Luigi, but Quirrell was really fun. I enjoyed him. I liked how he kind of was like the Fuyuhiko, if you could say that of the series, with Monomon dying in chapter 2. That was like his like bestie or like master or whatever. Bowser Jr. was cool, fun survivor. Tattletale was interesting. Very interesting survivor. That sounds really evil and kind of shady, but trust me, it's not. It's a compliment. And then the final one, oh my god, I fully blanked on Ralsei. Damn. But I loved Ralsei. I really did. He was so cute. The survivors were cool, even though it kind of sounds like I forgot all of them. Trust and believe, I did like them. And I'm not just being annoying to be annoying. But I like the survivors. I thought they were cool. Chapter 1, Blue Toad and Elekid. Nothing special to write home about. Character-wise, they did their things. Chapter 2, Monomon and Glaceon, however. I was sad when Glaceon died. I liked her. Now that might be a little bit biased because I have a Glaceon in my series, but like, God forbid someone's biased. And apparently I'm not alone too, because supposedly a lot of other people liked her, which I can fully see. I thought she had an interesting arc going, and then, well, she died. So that never went anywhere. Yeah. Monomon, Chapter 2, Murderer. I thought it was fine. The execution was really cool, though, I must say. Chapter 3 was Wild Mary. I mean, Mischievous, Mimikyu, Lancer, and Spamton all being, like, in it. That was... Jesus! I liked how it went down. I liked how a killer actually did survive too from that. Because Monica was like, oh, there gotta be 2 killers. And there was, in fact, 2 killers. Like, come on, that's like the drama I need. That is what I want to see. Chapter 4 was also pretty crazy. And Chapter 5 was nuts. Overall, I like the series a lot. Might be a little bit controversial. Who knows? Probably not. The series was good, and a lot of BMG series is good. That's just kind of like a reoccurring theme. Like, I want to critique them, but I have nothing bad to say about them. That's the problem, because they're all just so good.
Make 16. If you don't mind me asking, who are you, sir? Oh, hi, my name's Gatorade, Ultimate Cameraman?
Danganronpa Plush, Old Blood, New Wounds. Every single time a new episode comes out, I'm always like shocked and floored by the results. Chapter 1 was so fun. I love all the characters, which, surprise, surprise, I love the characters, which is probably why these are also up high, because the characters really do make or break a Danganronpa Plush series. OJ I thought was a fun addition. Then he died, so I don't really have much to say about him. He was a fun first victim, however. Cuphead I thought being the first killer. I've always thought about him being the first culprit just because, you know, Cuphead, even though he's a good person, he's still greedy. So it's kind of like this, like, moral argument of, oh, okay, well, are you a good person? Because you just killed a dude. Speaking of killing dudes, Kuromi was a part of a huge case of that, like, first trial. I love her, love her as, like, a villain. And the funny part is, she's not even, like, a serious villain. She's just being annoying. And then Toy Freddy, before he dies, like, oh, Kuromi, you're literally just a bottom barrel traitor. Everyone's gagged. Which, I mean, wasn't really that surprising. I knew she was, like, some sort of evil villainess, but I didn't know she was, like, traitor-level evil villainess. Speaking of Toy Freddy dying, Chapter 2, Noctis, I was really sad when he died. He was so cool! Such a good use of an Enderman character. He was just, oh my god, I loved him! And then he died tragically, and I was really sad about it. Then Toy Freddy died, and I wasn't really that sad about it. I didn't really care for Toy Freddy that much, but he was fine. I don't have any bad notes to say about him. Then Chapter 3 is currently happening at, oh my days! This is what I mean when every time a video comes out of you know, an episode, I'm floored. This trial is about to be fucking insane. First Kuromi, then Waddle Doo, and then Mimi. What the fuck is Gatorade? But Mimi, I enjoyed her. I liked her for her time. I just like her in general as a character. She's so cool, and nobody ever uses her enough, and I'm sick of it. This is slander on her name. Waddle Doo I thought was fun. Same with Mimi for the time he was here. Chapter 3 is always a strange, like, 2 deaths, because you're always like, okay, wow, these characters were cool, but they didn't really do much, even though they died kind of like at the halfway point of each series, which is wild. Kuromi dying, I was actually shocked. I didn't think she was gonna die. I thought she was just gonna go out with the mastermind, but oh my god, I didn't think she was gonna die so early. Pepperman taking over as a protagonist while Gatorade is somewhere out in the world. I like it. I think that's a really interesting, like, swap protagonist. Just because throughout the series, he's kind of been portrayed as, like, unserious, kind of goofy, kind of silly. But now, with the trial coming up, everyone's like, oh shit, shit's about to go down. And now he's stepping up. Like, oh, absolutely. And speaking of like the whole protagonist thing, I love Gatorade as a protagonist. Usually with like a colorful Yoshi, you kind of have no idea what the hell you're getting into because they don't really have personalities, so you kind of have to do that yourself. What I think with Gatorade I like the most is that you really get to see a glimpse into what his life was like before the killing game, and I like that. I think it's really cool for a protagonist to have like more of a fleshed out character and just not be like, oh, I'm from my series, that's all I gotta say about that. But I think Gatorade is a really good, protagonist and just a good character in general. With the remaining characters still alive, Melaletta, I didn't really have a lot of thoughts about her until like the investigation, which kind of like just woke up, I guess, and was pissed. Well, to be fair, nobody was really happy-go-lucky the entirety of Chapter 3. Bonnie is still there. That's all. I think Bendy's funny. I think he's the Chapter 3 killer, but I could fully be wrong. Who knows? Wario and Waluigi. I think they're a fun addition. I'm kind of surprised one of them didn't die in Chapter 3. Usually by this point, one of them's dead. So I like how they get to have their, moment to last longer. Who else is alive? Oh, you know what? Mangle. I think she's fun. She's cute. She's a cool character. Well, she's not amazing. She's kind of just, there. I hope she does something eventually. Because other than that, I think she might just die, which I'm kind of sad about. I don't like the whole, oh, I like this character. Oh, they're dead now. I'm sad. I won't be, majorly depressed when she dies, but, it'd definitely be oh, that sucks. I really hope Peppermint doesn't die. I don't think he will, now that he's, kind of taken this pseudo-protagonist role in all this. But yeah, that's just my opinion on some of the characters that are still alive. And I really, really am excited to see what the rest of the series holds, because something tells me it's going to be wild.
Who are you? Give us some time and we'll explain it to you. Oh gosh, they're already asking us questions. We should be doing this already? Relax, Rella.
I mean, come on, let's give it up now. Now, I do feel a little bit cheap by putting 2 BMG Plush Worlds series in my top 5. However, if this was the top 10, you'd be seeing a lot more different series. So there's that. But oh my god, this series, dare we say, a little bit life-changing. Now there is a lot of characters, so I'm not going to go over all of them in order. However, I'm just going to go over some small things I do like about some characters. First of all, Monocro and the Mono Chicks. First of all, I love their designs. They are so adorable and precious. And obviously they have the whole, Mono Kid. Those are not their name. Mono Cubs, right, yeah. They had the whole Mono Cubs deal where they died in every execution or whatever. I thought that was fun. Pierre was pretty cool. Monocro, I thought was actually really fun. Then he kind of, wasn't that evil at the end of the series, which I thought was a pretty interesting take. And I mean, Monocro isn't inherently terrible. He's bad. He's not I hate all of you. Other characters I notably enjoyed, definitely Madeline. Carmelita kind of pissed me off at times, but other than that, she was cool. I thought Wendy was a really cool antagonist most of the time. A lot of the I haven't seen a lot of Koopalings in Danganronpa Plush videos, which I think needs to be changed because the Koopalings are amazing, and I love them all. But I thought Wendy was a pretty cool antagonist. I liked Cream. I thought she was a pretty interesting murderer. It's kind of like the Toshiko Kaira effect where you're okay, well, you're a small child, so you're obviously gonna die, but how? I think the way they did it with her was actually, I liked it. Her and Dingo Dial were really fun. I had no idea who the hell Dingo Dial was when this started, but now after this, I think I have a fairly good acknowledgement of him. The survivors, I like Ashley. Tom Nook's cool. He was actually a really interesting survivor. I did not expect him to survive out of all people. Piranha Plant was fun. Her and Weavile were cool. I really wished Weavile survived, but you can't get what you wish for all the time. Tom Nook, Ashley, Dingo, Piranha, and Madeline. That was a cool survivor setup. I also like how, Monami was in the killing game for a little bit, then she dipped. Other characters who I liked, Masky was cool. I liked Fennekin for her short stay. It's also because Fennekin is just one of my favorite Pokemon, along with Glamio. Other than that, all the characters, I like them. The executions, cases, murders, oh my god! Absolutely brilliant. I just think that I hope that if BMG Plush World continues to make series of Danganronpa Plush videos, I really, really hope he somehow outdoes this one, which I think will be really hard. But I mean, I'm still gonna eat it up every time, because just something about... First of all, the cast is fairly large for a typical Danganronpa, which I think is fun. I think his last two series kind of like changed up the format a little bit in ways that I actually enjoyed. Usually I'm more of like, okay, well, why change it if it's not broken? But here it's like, okay, cool. You actually did it really well. Congrats. But yeah, overall, that's my opinions. I love, love, love Dimensional Despair. That's my top 5. And that's the end of this video also. So, you know, I hope y'all enjoyed. The Rejuvenated Despair trial should be coming out probably in the next week. I'm trying to get it done. I'm trying to get this editing process out as soon as possible. So yeah, goodbye.